All right, friends and family, here it is. I am going to start sharing pieces of my new book called What If? A Simple Solution to Suicide. This is a book that I have been working on for years now. In fact, I actually finished it over 2 years ago and gave it to an editor, but something about it wasn't right. I knew that it wasn't being delivered in the right format. And only recently, after returning from spending 5 months in Bali, have I realized what needed to be done differently. Instead of simply pouring out all of the information that I've learned over the last 25 plus years, I am actually going to set the book up to be Q&A. And so I'm going to ask every question that someone would normally think to ask, as well as the questions you might not have ever thought of. And it's going to be related to suicide, to how we talk about it, to the human experience, as well as how we respond to someone in crisis, and the importance of what it means to thrive every day. So I look forward to you listening in, sharing your feedback, and joining me for conversations about this content so that we can really truly make a difference and share it with others. But really just improve the conversation, improve the way we respond to ourselves and others when we're going through challenges, and really learn what it means to thrive every day and to know that it's possible. It truly is possible for each and every one of us. And I am living proof of that. Um, so thank you in advance. I'm so grateful for all of you. Um, feel so loved. And yeah, I'm just grateful. So thank you. What if a simple solution to suicide? Preface. What if we could easily shift from pain to possibility? On June 2nd, 1999, I lost my dad to suicide. I was 20 years old, and the pain that came from losing him left me feeling like I couldn't breathe. It was a pain that I've heard many describe as one that you'll never get over. But I'm here to assure you that it isn't about getting over it, it's about growing through it. Since losing my dad, I've had an innate belief that if I could just understand what happened to him, it would ease my pain. As a result, I have spent more than half of my life learning everything I could about suicide. I could have never predicted that in my need to understand suicide, I would discover wellness, what it means to thrive, and that healing is possible. More than 25 years have passed since I lost my dad, and I find it poetic that both the depth of my pain as well as my unshakable belief in possibility have been rooted in the same two words. What if? Two simple words that once tormented me are now the very words empowering me. For over 20 years, I avoided what if questions, convinced they only magnified my pain. Let me explain. After my dad died, thoughts of what if haunted me. What if I had done more? What if I had recognized how much pain he was in? What if I had told him how much I loved him one more time? What if he was still alive? I wasn't the only one who seemed to be haunted by what if questions. While attending support groups for survivors of suicide loss, I witnessed how what if questions could consume people. And over time, I observed how these questions prevented them from moving forward. I began to see what if questions as a comforting trap. Comforting in that for a moment, it is as if the person you lost didn't die. For a moment, you get to see how things could be different. But it's a trap because in order to experience that moment, you must constantly ask what if questions with the belief that if anything had been done differently, it could have changed the outcome. While it can mildly ease the pain in a moment, it actually prolongs the pain over time. I watched people get stuck in this trap. I saw how it prevented them from accepting the truth and how it derailed their healing, destroyed relationships, and denied them the ability to fully live a life they loved. My awareness of all this caused me to become extremely wary of what if questions, seeing them only as a trap that keeps us stuck in the past and stuck in our pain. And yet, in the last few years, I suddenly found myself asking a new set of what if questions. What if we all understood suicide? What if the stigma around it no longer existed? What if there was a better way to prevent it? I began to hear myself regularly starting questions with what if, and I couldn't help but feel surprised given how long I had avoided using those two words. After years of only seeing the danger of asking what if questions, I realized that there are two types of what if questions. One replays the pains of our past while tormenting us with shame and regret. The other opens us up to a future of new possibilities while instilling a sense of purpose and transformation. One holds us back while the other moves us forward. We simply have to be mindful of whether we are fixating on what was or if we're exploring what could be. So I continued to ask myself more what if questions. What if we could remove the fear that surrounds suicide? What if everyone felt confident responding to someone in crisis? What if we treated suicide like any other medical condition without judgment or shame? I began to see that asking what if questions about suicide while focused on tomorrow could lead us toward a simple solution today, a solution that removes the fear and uncertainty that have surrounded suicide for far too long. The questions continued to pour out of me. What if we understood that it isn't suicide that's complex, but what is complex is our human experience? And what if we better understood our human experience? What if, rather than trying to stop suicide in the moment of crisis, we were taught how to live a life we love? As I continue to ask what if questions while reflecting on all that I've learned since losing my dad, a simple solution began to take shape. The solution to suicide is understanding, an understanding in 5 areas of focus. Number 1, understand suicide. Number 2, understand the human experience. Number 3, understand how to talk about suicide. Number 4, understand how to respond to crisis. And number 5, understand the importance of thriving every day. By approaching suicide through this lens, it became clear to me that asking what if questions can actually move us from a place of pain to a place of possibility. Throughout this book, I'm going to answer questions about suicide that you may or may not have thought of. For each question, I'll give the most simple answer I can, and when necessary, I'll also share a second answer that provides a deeper understanding. Whether you are reading this book to help yourself or to support someone else, I am aware from my own experiences as well as working with clients that when you are looking for answers related to suicide, you often only have the bandwidth for something simple. But I also know the importance of developing a deeper understanding, one that when you have the bandwidth to absorb it, can help you fully digest, integrate, and apply the simple answer. I invite you to read what you have the capacity to take in and know that the rest will be here when you're ready for it.